Hello everyone, it's Mike again from ReplicaAirguns.com, and I've got another air gun here for you. This product is a Crosman 1088 in silver. Now, there is a black version also, but I only have the silver one, and I'm only carrying the silver version in the Replica Airgun store. Now right off the bat, I want to say this. This is a pretty much all plastic gun. So before you completely write it off because it has a lot of plastic, I challenge you to watch the rest of this video because there are some very good points about this gun. So let's go over some of the main specifications. Now it's a non-blowback pellet and BB shooter, so it can shoot both pellets and BBs. Comes with these little rotary magazines, and they're magnetized. Let me show you. You can see that they're magnetized, so they hold the BBs in there as well. It uses 12 grams CO2, and again it has these rotary magazines that hold 8 rounds each. BBs are pellets, and of course that would be .177 caliber pellets and 4.5 millimeter BBs. Now this gun, here's another one of these good points. This gun has a rifled barrel. Another good point, this gun shoots both in single and double action. Here's another good point. It shoots up to 430 feet per second. Now that would probably be with the BBs, not so much the pellets, because they're a bit heavier. Now this gun isn't necessarily a replica, but it does closely resemble the Ruger P345. And that's a semi-auto pistol. Another good point, this gun is made in the USA. And really quickly, just want to show you what it comes with. It does come with this box, you know, it's just basically a box. This isn't the exact box, but it comes in a very similar box to this. Comes with your instructions. It does come with this safety. This is like a trigger safety. Now it's plastic, so if you really want to get into this gun, this isn't going to stop you for too long. And again, it comes with the rotary magazines, 2 of them, that hold BBs or pellets. Alright, so let's take a quick look at this gun. You know, it's not a bad looking gun. It is plasticky, of course, but overall it doesn't look too bad. I'm just going to show you around really quickly. Okay. Alright, so what do you get on this gun? Well, on the left side here, you get a lot of these sort of, you know, engraved markings on here, and I don't like that, but at least it's the same color as the gun, so it doesn't stand out too much. You have your safety. So to fire this gun, it's got to be basically coming out this side. So when you push the safety from the other side, you'll notice that there's a little bit of red here. That indicates that this gun's live. So if you push it in, it's safe. Okay. Everything else on the side of this gun, the slide release and the magazine ejector, is molded into the gun. Let's take a look at the right side. Again, here's the opposite side of the safety. Push it in from this side to make the gun go live, to take it out of safe mode. Again, there's really not too much going on. There's this ejector port. You know, it's not really cut out, but it sort of looks like it is, so that's kind of nice. That's about it for the right side of the gun. You've got your model number here. And you'll notice that the trigger is kind of neat. It's sort of like the 1911 style trigger. And you would almost think that it would be hard to pull, but the trigger pulls pretty good on this gun. Alright, on the bottom, you have your accessory rail here, which is nice. And I'm not going to focus in too much here. There's not a lot to see. But you basically take your grips off here to get access to your CO2. And another bonus here is that the CO2 screw is all metal, including the tab. A lot of guns are going cheaper and making this plastic, which kind of makes me nervous because you're putting a lot of pressure on the tab. To me, when I'm dealing with plastic, it kind of makes me nervous. Now you just snap these back in, put them back on. And what I like about it is that you don't see your CO2 screw, so it looks a little bit more realistic that way. On the top, you have your front sight. There's no white dot or anything, but the back sight is black, so you get the nice contrast between the silver front, black back, which makes it a little easier to sight this gun in when you're shooting at targets. And the other thing to note is this rear sight is adjustable, so you can adjust it for windage, which is nice. There's just basically 2 little screws you undo in the top here, and you can move it from left to right. And then you also have this little switch here, and the switch allows you to, when you pull it forward, it gives you access to the rotary magazine area, to the loading bay. Magazine goes in with the little notches here facing forward, and you just pop it in. Okay. And on the back here you have your single and double action trigger. It is a metal hammer, which is nice. So it does have a bit of a weight. You can feel it. One thing to note And let me show you this. When you're in single action mode and you're shooting, if you just creep your finger a little bit, it'll sort of decock. Well, that one didn't, but it can decock on you a little bit. It's not doing it for me now, but I found sometimes instead of shooting it would decock on me. So just remember, when you're shooting this gun in single action mode, you'll find the sweet spot in it pretty quickly, but I found if I pulled the trigger just a little bit too slow, it would almost decock on me. Alright, so let's take a look at the target really quickly here. Now, when I shot this gun, I did it in single action. I took 8 shots because it has an 8-shot rotary magazine from a standing position 20 feet away with no rests of any sort, and I shot this gun about 2 to 3 seconds apart. Now, the first shot kind of caught me by surprise, and I shot a little high. So I want you just to remove this shot from your mind here and just look at the remaining shots here. And we're in about a 1 1/4 inch grouping. So that is not too bad at all. And that, again, 20 feet away, freestanding position, fairly centered on the target, about 1 1/4 inches. That's really not bad. Now, having a rifled barrel and using pellets definitely helps. And that's probably why I got such good results with this gun. I also shot 5 rounds through my chronograph to get an idea of what the real world feet per second was. And keep in mind, it's fairly cool. It's maybe about 10 degrees Celsius where I am, so it's not warm. With my 5-shot test, I averaged just about 350 feet per second, and I was using 6.9 grain pellets. So really, that's not too bad. I could see this gun easily shooting in the 400s with BBs. Okay, so let's talk about some of the pros and the cons. First advantage to this gun is the price. Keep in mind, this is a pellet shooter with a rifled barrel, adjustable sights, single and double action, and we're selling at the Replica Airgun store for $49. Now, these are refurbished models, so normally you would see these selling for a lot more, but they're refurbished, and the one you're looking at is a refurbished one. It's in good shape. You may find the odd little blemish on it, but it's to be expected. Again, this has a rifled barrel. That's a big bonus. You can shoot pellets or BBs in this gun. I would prefer to shoot pellets. I'm not a big fan of putting metal BBs through a rifled barrel. So if you are going to buy this gun, decide right away what you're going to use in this and stick to that type of ammunition. Again, another advantage, having the adjustable rear sight. Not a lot of guns, especially in this price range, will have a rear adjustable sight. This gun had really good accuracy and decent power. You know, I don't mind the look of the gun. If you can get around the fact that it's got a lot of plastic in it, it's a modern looking gun, it's decent looking. I like the fact that the CO2 tab is hidden in the handle. You don't see it coming out the bottom. It adds to the realism. Plus the CO2 tab and screw are all metal. Again, this gun, there's a lot of things, positive things about this gun. This gun is single and double action. Big bonus. And yet another positive thing about this gun is it's made in the USA. If you're into accessories, you've got the accessory rail on this gun. Put a laser, put a flashlight, whatever you're into, you can add to the bottom of this gun. So what didn't I like about the gun? Well, there's very little. I mean, the biggest thing is that it's plastic. So it's a plastic gun, which doesn't make the gun overly heavy. So maybe that's a bonus for you. Maybe you're looking for a lightweight gun. This gun weighs just over 1 pound. I like my guns to have a little bit more weight to them, but when you put your CO2 in there and everything, it's actually not too bad. The only other thing I experienced, and I couldn't recreate it in this video, is that when you're in single action mode, and if you're just pulling your trigger really slowly, and I was doing this because I wasn't sure of where the break point was, while I was kind of learning where the break point was, if I got to that break point and was easing up on the trigger, it would tend to decock on me as opposed to letting the actual hammer go. You know, I got used to it pretty quick, and I'm sure if you shoot this gun often, you won't have a problem with that, but just be aware of it. Okay, that's pretty much it. So if you can get around the fact that this gun is primarily made out of plastic, then I think you'll really enjoy this gun because it shoots well, and there are a lot of positive features about this gun, one of which, of course, is the $49 price tag. Again, you're looking for a pellet shooter, looking for a rifled barrel, adjustable sights, single double action, come on down to Replica Airguns and pick this gun up. I don't believe you can really buy this gun anymore brand new because it's not in production anymore. So you're probably only going to get some older stock or refurbished models like this one. But again, $49, Replica Airgun store. Come on down, check out our Replica Airguns website. We've got lots of articles and reviews for you. And of course, check out our Replica Airgun store where you can buy a lot of different products like this one and many more. Thanks again for watching, and check back for more videos. Take care.